So we're going to continue our discussion with forms of equations. So I want you to look at your foldy from before. We're going to talk about standard form. And standard form is ax plus by equals c, where c is our constant and x and y are going to stay x and y. So what is standard form? Standard form, again, is ax plus by equals c. And this is the most common form of an equation you're going to see because it makes sense. So this is, say I bought, 3 apples for this much money at the store, and then I bought 6 bananas for this much money at the store. How much was my total? So this is the most common form of an equation you're going to see. Now, in order to graph it, we have to change it to y equals. Always we're going back to y equals. So here are your steps. So step 1, you're going to move ax. So we're going to subtract 3x. We did this when we talked about literal equations. Make sure you bring that negative down. You can also write 8 minus 3x. And then you have to move your coefficient. Well, we're multiplying by a -2. So we need to divide everything by a -2. So we say y equals a negative divided by a negative is in fact a positive. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. So you can see here your slope is 3/2 and your b is -4. So all you're doing is moving ax and then you're going to divide by b. Okay, so we can graph that down 4, rise 3, run 2, rise 3, run 2, and here is your line. So the next set of notes that we're going to do today, we're going to elaborate a little bit on the rules for standard form because there are a couple of rules. So you have these 2 papers. Okay, I want you to start with the one that says example 1 and 3, and we are going to flip it over so it says on the bottom given a point and a slope, and we're going to fold to just above that. Okay, then you'll take your other paper that says standard form, we're going to flip it over and it says given 2 points at the bottom. We're going to line up the paper we just folded right above given 2 points. We're going to fold that down, and now we have a standard form foldy. Things that we need to keep in mind, writing linear equations in standard form. So again, we're going to write ax plus by equals c, and then we're going to put some stars here. No fractions or decimals. A, B, and C are going to always be integers, positive or negative whole numbers. The other rule that you will see, and sometimes people follow and sometimes they don't, A must be positive. And we're going to talk about how to do that. Okay? So make sure you've got that. So let's look at transforming our standard form equation. All right, this is our standard form. We're going to write these again because we want to make sure that we are good to go. All right, so let's make a little star next to A. Must be positive. Okay, and changing it from a negative to a positive is not that difficult. And then we're going to underline A, B, and C. Must be a whole number, right? No fractions. You can also write integers here. No fractions or decimals. All right, let you get caught up on writing that, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right, So let's talk about transforming these to standard form. So this is going to go from from slope-intercept to standard form. So we want the x and the y on the same side. So we have a fraction here. We talked about how to get rid of a fraction a long time ago. We're going to multiply everything by that denominator. Denominator is 4. And remember, when you're distributing, you have to distribute all the way through. So we're going to say 4y equals 1/4 of 4 is just 1. You could put the 1 if you want. You don't have to. 4 times -3 is -12. And now, again, x and y, look, x and y are on the same side. So we're going to move that x over. Now, Mrs. Ray, it's a negative. You just said a cannot be negative. That's right. So if we want to change it from a negative to a positive, well, a negative times a negative is a positive. So we're just going to multiply the whole thing by a -1, because that just leaves the numbers and changes the sign. So 1x minus 4y equals 12. Okay? Let's look at this next one. We have to distribute. We don't have any fractions, so that's nice. This one is point slope, 3x plus 6. So we're going to move that constant over just like before. 3x plus 10. But now we need to move the x to the other side. And when we're moving that x, ladies and gentlemen, we are only adding or subtracting. Again, a is negative. A cannot be negative. So we're just going to multiply the whole thing by a -1. 3x minus 1y equals -10. And those people that like to distribute, but you don't distribute all the way through, this is going to mess you up if you're not doing that. Okay? So let's elaborate a little bit more. Write an equation in standard form of line that passes through the given point and has a given slope. So again, so we have a point and a slope. So this is point slope form, which is why we learned that before this one. We're going to start in point slope form. So y plus 1 equals 3 times x minus 4. And again, we're going to do what we did before to change it to slope intercept. We're going to move y1. We're going to distribute. So this is all stuff we've already done. We're going to collect like terms. But now we want the x and the y on the same side, so we're going to move the x. Right? This was our slope intercept. We're going to move the x. It's negative. We don't want it to be negative. So again, we're going to distribute a -1. 3x minus 1y equals 13. Okay? This next one, if you want to pause me and try it, you can. This is actually our b value. You could start with point slope, or you can just say, oh, this is slope intercept. Y equals -2x plus 5. And then all you have to do is move your 8x to the other side. Okay? A few more examples. So again, we're elaborating. So now I'm giving you 2 points. So we're still doing point slope form. Okay? But now you have to find the slope. So lots and lots of review from things we've already done. -8, -2. Slope is -8 over -2 is a +4. And again, pick whichever point you want. It doesn't have to be the first one. I'm going to pick the first one, but you could do it with the second one. Y minus 9 equals m is 4, x minus 3. Move your y1 just like we've been doing. Y equals, distribute all the way through, 4x minus 12 plus 9. Collect like terms. Move your x to the same side as the y. Make sure x is positive. Ax is positive, right? So 4x minus 1y equals positive 3. I am going to ask you to pause me and try this next one. So slope, negative 5, 2, negative 4, 3, plus 1, plus 1. So my slope is 1 over 1, which is very nice. It is 1. I'll do the second point this time just to be a little different. Y minus 3 equals 1 times x plus 4. Remember, if it's a negative, it becomes a positive. Move y1. Distributing a 1 is so nice, right? 1x plus 4 plus 3. Collect like terms. Move your ax. Oh, it's negative again. Bummer. Multiply by a negative 1. So 1x minus 1y equals a negative 7. So hopefully that helps you with standard form. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you some more notes and some practice on this. Have a great evening.